moderation through averaging which has been carried out by the respondent, by the appellant commission, is proper moderation or is it arbitrary? Well, that's really the core question. That is this kind of averaging a sufficient moderation for the purpose for which moderation is carried out in these kind of exams, which is to remove to the maximum extent possible examiner variability. That is really, my lords, in my respectful submission, the core question. And if my lords were to agree with the learned single judge on that single question, then my lords, the direction of the learned single judge, the operative direction, which is the main direction, has to be upheld in my respectful submission. The other direction, which is an alternative direction, which is that the examination will not should be cancelled and reheld, that is really in the nature, Malas, of an alternative direction. The judge himself has said otherwise, which means that if for any reason the commission cannot carry out the primary direction, which is to reevaluate with moderation, only in that circumstance you take out the exam completely and redo the exam. And Malaj, my respectful submission is the reason for that second direction was, and I say this with the highest amount of respect for the commission, is that Malaj, we are dealing with a peculiar situation here where we are already in the third round. First round, there was a paper leak that was set aside. Second round, Malaj, there were some other irregularities, it was also set aside. And we are right now in the third round. So, Malaj, it's normal for the learned single judge to have some apprehension whether even this exercise of moderation, as directed by Subhash, can be carried out by Malots the commission, and therefore they have given that alternate prayer. But it's clearly an alternate. The petitioners have attacked Malots the alternate prayer to attack the judgment. In my respectful submission, Malots, that is no attack. What they have to really deal with, the appellants here, that is, the appellants have attacked the alternate Malots direction. What they have to really Malots show why the primary direction is incorrect, and in my respectful submission, that primary direction is absolutely correct and proportionate, both. It is not a disproportionate Malaz action. And Malaz, on that, I say this. I had opened by saying that averaging, what it does is, averaging is not a correction for examiner variability, because in a large number of cases, the paper will go to both the examiners being liberal or to both the examiners being strict, the hawk and dove Malaz. In that case, it does not moderate at all. What happens is that if you have 40 and 42 and somebody has 60 and 62, the number comes to 41 and 61. So it stays on the wrong end of the spectrum. Only in a very small subset of cases where maybe it goes to one dove and one hawk and you have 40 and 60, maybe the number will come to 50, which is actually the merit of that person. But in a large number of cases, a systematic vitiation of the process happens, because what happens is your actual merit is not reflected in the score. It depends on which examiner your paper went to. That is my respectful submission.
We have understood that point.
Yes, Malak, so I'm just developing on that. It really is an average of errors. Malak, just to extrapolate a little bit, I won't take much time. Malak, you lordship have appreciated the point. I fully get that. Just to Malak, it's an averaging of errors. Slightly on the lighter side, your lordships are aware their opinion polls in elections. And some news channels stop doing opinion polls at all. What they do is they do poll of polls. So they take all the polls and they average it out. So what even the poll of poll comes out is actually never, or in most cases, 8 out of 10 cases, is actually not even close to the actual result. It is an averaging out of errors. In my respectful submission, what is happening in this case is that there is averaging of errors by taking two of the cases. Now, the corrective mechanism is the third checker, examiner. There is nothing also to indicate that even the third examiner can be a dove or a hawk. Because even the third examiner can be a dove or a hawk. It may not be a moderate person. Now, if that is the case, what happens is that the third examiner and the one who score from the first two is closest, their average is taken. So let us take just one example and then I'll move on to the next point. There is say 40 and 60, two people, and the third examiner has 62. So then 62 and 60 average is taken and it comes to 61. Still no correction happens. That's my respectful submission. The third examiner also, even in the limited number of cases where the difference is more than 15%, is not necessarily a corrective mechanism. Now, my lords, what is the, my lords, what has happened in this case? Your lordships will just have one IA. There is IA number 3, my lords, of 2025. The learned court master will kindly hand over to the court in my writ appeal. I'm only referring to my writ appeal only for this purpose. Rest I will deal with the lead writ appeal because the IA has been filed there. IA number 3 in writ appeal 1086 of 2025. My lords will have that. Do my lords have that IA, my lords?
We are trying to take it out.
All right, my lords, I'll wait. I'm sorry. It is, my lords, the learned court master can note it's in my writ appeal 1086 2025, IA number 3 of 2025.
Yes.
Yes, my lords. My lords will have page 97 in this. My lords, I apologize. I think it's numbered in reverse, this volume. So, my lords, 97 comes first, then 96, then 95. I don't know how that has happened, but just have page 97 first.
Yes.
It says data related to centers located on the red line. My lords have that.
Yes.
Plus, here your lordships will see in 20 total, there were 46 centers in Hyderabad for the examination. Here, my lords, there are 22 centers, and selections in these centers are remarkably low. In some of them, it's as low as 0. And the selection percentage is 15.45%. That's at the bottom, my lords. That's at the bottom. So these are, my lords, in our respective submission, centers which were sent to possibly to the Hawks to check. That was the split checking was applied. That's why these numbers have come like this. Over the page, my lords will have page 96, where, my lords, the center code is there. There are 24 centers, and the selection rate is 85%. It's very high. One set is 15%, one is 85%. And, my lords, finally, over the page again, page 95, that's the third page, we have done, my lords, a physical mapping of these centers along the, my lords, geographical, my lords, location. And the red, which is the low selection, is all on the top, is in the north part, and the green, which is a high 85% plus, is all on the bottom. So, Mullahs, what seems to have happened, and of course, Mullahs, we have no basis to be sure, but the pattern is very clear, that some centers, papers were, because otherwise it makes no sense that in some centers, if it was at random, that in some,
Yes.
Yes. So our respectful submission is that with these kind of patterns, obviously no effective moderation has been carried out, because in some centers the turnout of selected candidate is 5 times as much as other centers in the south. And Malaj, therefore, the averaging mechanism, quite apart from the logic of it not being to moderate, has clearly failed. Malaj, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as the common saying goes. And Malaj, here, if there was any proper moderation, we would not have had these kind of results. That's a respectful submission. So, Malaj, I would say now I'll identify the problem in this moderation from the context of Sanjay Singh. My lords will have the judgment in Sanjay Singh, and that was annexed to the written submission filed by the learned advocate general. And my lords will just have the written submission of the learned advocate general. I'll take your lordship to the same copy. Para 23. Para 23 is in the written submission. It is page 166. In the written submission of the advocate general, it's page 1, running page 166. And the point, my lords, I'm canvassing using Sanjay Singh is this. I will just briefly frame it and then I'll go to the point. There is one mechanism of correction which is happening when the papers are being checked by all the different evaluators. That is happening also, that the chief examiner is keeping a watch. But once a score is given by the evaluator, then moderation is applied independent of the evaluator. The matter has gone beyond the evaluator. Then moderation is applied. That second part does not happen in this case at all. That's my respectful submission. In our case here, the second part does not happen at all. And I'll show that from what Sanjay Singh demands and what has happened in this case as per the commission's affidavit. So my lords will first have para 23. Both of my lords have para 23, Sanjay Singh.
Those judgments, entire bunch you pass it on. It contains all these things. Such a difficult task.
My lords, the judgment compilation I handed up, this para 23 is at page 209.
I'm sure many of us have handled it. My lords can take the written submission of the advocate general that has this as well. And there, my lords, the page number is 166.
Doesn't really matter. We have Sanjay Singh's judgment.
That's all right. No, that's good enough. I appreciate it. Yes, I was just trying to assist the court. So kindly have para 23 of the judgment. Yes. I will read it slowly. It's very important. And the proposition is this. Yes, you can deviate from Sanjay Singh, but when you deviate from Sanjay Singh, you must be able to show there is effective moderation. If you are not able to show that there is effective moderation and you have deviated from Sanjay Singh, then there is a problem. That's my respectful submission. My Lord, the Chief Justice has it.
166.
One 66 you want us to?
Yes, of the written submission of the advocate, learned advocate general. Correct. That has para 23. I'll read it slowly from there.
Para 22.
Yes, 20, and my laws will have para 23, which should be on the next page.
Yes,
It,
yes.
yes, I'll read it slowly because this is crucial. When a large number of candidates appear for an examination, it is necessary to have uniformity and consistency in valuation of the answer scripts. Where the number of candidates taking the examination are limited and only one examiner, preferably the paper setter himself, evaluates the answer script, it is to be assumed that there will be uniformity in the valuation. But where a large number of candidates taking the examination, it will not be possible to get all the answer scripts evaluated by the same examiner. It therefore becomes necessary to distribute the answer scripts among several examiners for valuation, with the paper setter or other senior person acting as the head examiner. When more than one examiner evaluates the answer script relating to a subject, the subjectivity of the respective examiner will creep into the marks awarded by him to the answer scripts allotted to him for valuation. Each examiner will apply his own yardstick to assess the answer scripts. Well, this is important. I request your lordships to kindly underline. Inevitably, therefore, even when experienced examiners receive equal batches of answer scripts, there is difference in average marks and the range of marks awarded, thereby affecting the merit of individual candidates. This apart, there is hawk-dove effect. Some examiners are liberal in valuation and tend to award more marks. Some examiners are strict and tend to give less marks. Some may be moderate and balanced in awarding marks. Even amongst those who are liberal or those who are strict, there may be variance in the degree of strictness or liberality. This means that if the same answer script is given to different examiner, there is all likelihood of different marks being assigned. If a very well written answer script goes to a strict examiner and a mediocre answer script goes to a liberal examiner, the mediocre answer script may be awarded more marks than the excellent answer script. In other words, there is reduced valuation by a strict examiner and enhanced valuation by a liberal examiner. This is known as examiner variability or cock-dove effect. Therefore, there is a need to evolve a procedure to ensure uniformity inter say the examiners, so that the effect of examiner subjectivity or variability is minimized. The procedure applied to reduce examiner variability or variability is known as moderation. The classic method of moderation is as follows. So, I take it this is the classic method. This is may not be the only method, but my submission is, if you go away from this method, you must show that it performs the same function, that is to correct examiner variability, not some other function, which this averaging does. Now, my laws will have one. The paper setter of the subject normally acts as the head examiner for the subject. He is selected from among senior academic scholars, senior servants, judges. Where a case is of a large number of candidates, more than one examiner is appointed and each of them is allotted around 300 answer scripts. Two, to achieve uniformity in valuation where more than one examiner is involved, a meeting of the head examiner with all the examiners is held as soon after the examination. They discuss thoroughly the question paper, the possible answers, and the weightage to be given to various aspects of the answers. They also carry out sample valuation in the light of their discussions. The sample valuation of scripts by each of them is reviewed by the head examiner, and variations in assigning marks are further discussed. Now, this is important, Lord. I again request your lordships to underline. After such discussions, a consensus is arrived at in regard to the norms of valuation to be adopted. On that basis, the examiners are required to complete the valuation of answer script. Plus, this consensus, it's not said so in as many words, is the answer key. The consensus arrived at by the different paper checkers with the head examiner being there is the answer key. But this by itself does not bring about uniformity of assessment inter say the examiners. In spite of the norms agreed, many examiners tend to deviate from the expected or agreed norms as their caution is overtaken by the propensity for strictness or liberality or erraticism or carelessness during the course of valuation. Therefore, certain further corrective steps become necessary. Now, this is important. This point 3 has not happened in our case at all. That's my respectful submission. Point 3 has not happened in this case. After the valuation is completed by the examiners, the head examiner conducts a random sample survey on the corrected answer scripts to verify whether the norms evolved in the meeting of examiners have actually been followed by the examiners. The process of random sampling usually consists of scrutiny of some top-level answer scripts and some answer books selected at random from the batches of answer script valued by each examiner. The top level answer books of each examiner are revalued by the head examiner, who carries out such corrections or alterations in the awards of the mark as he in his judgment considers best for achieving uniformity. For this purpose, if necessary, certain statistic like distribution of candidate in various mark ranges, the average percentage of marks, the highest and lowest award of marks, etc., may also be prepared in respect of the valuation of each examiner. Now, 4. After ascertaining or assessing the standards adopted by each examiner, the head examiner may confirm the award of marks without any change if the examiner has followed the agreed norm, or suggest upward or downward moderation, the quantum of moderation varying according to the degree of liberality or strictness. In regard to the top level answer books revealed by the head, his award of marks is accepted as final. As regards the other answer books below the top level, to achieve maximum measure of uniformity, inter say the examiners, the awards are moderated as per the recommendations made by the head examiner. Now, 5. If in the opinion of the head examiner there has been erratic or careless marking by any examiner for which it is not feasible to have any standard moderation, the answer scripts by such examiner are revalued altogether. Now, 6 is also there, where the number of candidates very large and the examiners are numerous. It may be difficult for one head examiner to assess the work of all examiners. In such situation, one more level of examiners is introduced. For every 10 or 20 examiners, there will be a head examiner who checks the random samples. The work of head examiner in turn is checked by the chief examiner. The above procedure of moderation would bring in considerable uniformity and consistency. It should be noted that absolute uniformity or consistency valuation is impossible to achieve where there are several examiners, and the effort is only to achieve the maximum uniformity. Because my respectful submission is this: the steps 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in this Sanjay Singh judgment para 23 have been replaced by what they call as averaging. And your lordships need to take a call in this matter, whether that averaging which they have done actually does the job of what in Sanjay Singh is serial number Roman, small Roman 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because that, in my respectful submission, is the core of this matter. If this does the same purpose, in our respectful submission, it does not. And that is also evident from the manner in which different centers have different, completely varied results on opposite ends of the spectrum. That's my submission. Now, my lords will see, just to show what they have actually done, your lordship will have volume 5 of the lead matter in the counter affidavit of the commission. And that, my lords, will find at volume 5 of the lead matter, my lords. The learned court master may hand it over to the court. Page 930 to 933. This is the procedure which the commission says it has followed. Because I take it whatever the commission is saying is correct, even though the learned single judge has pointed out a lot of flaws. Because I take it that whatever the commission is saying is correct. Even then, my lords, this is a defective process.
Which page are you referring?
Because 932 of volume 5. Volume 5 of the lead matter, page 932 running.
Before the learned single judge. They have filed 3 affidavits contradictory and did not disclose the full facts of the case. Nowhere there was a reference to what was the communications which they have made, which is in conformity with the conditions specified in the notification and the rule 3 of the rules of the procedure. But may I just draw your lordship's attention to the certain web notes, which I made a compilation together with the paginations of the volumes so that it would be convenient for your lordships. Have a glance. But I may seek your lordship's indulgence to refer to the web notes, which starts at page 87 of the paper book which my friend has handed over.
Page?
Page 87.
Yes.
This is the web note dated 16th August 2024. I've given the index column, the comparative pages where they have filed in the compilation book also I have passed on. You let me go over to the middle of the paragraph. After the table, the candidates must note that the timings of the examination mentioned in the web note dated so and so are partially modified from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then for Group 1 mains examination, candidates will be provided with a personalized answer booklet with pre-printed details and photo of the candidate. Next, for candidates' convenience, the sample answer booklets for all 7 papers would be made available from 17/8/2024 onwards in the Commission's website so that the candidates can read all the instructions printed on the answer booklets and follow them scrupulously. Candidates are advised to download the sample answer booklets and practice writing. Then what they say, last paragraph, candidates are therefore advised to read and understand all instructions printed on hall ticket answer booklets in their own interest before appearing for the examination so as to avoid rejection, invalidation of the condition, their candidate. Then instructions are given at page 88 onwards, which is annexed to that web note. Paragraph 11 and 12 minute. Candidates are informed that, I may not refer to this conditions in 11 and 12, only to be noted 11 and 12. Then at the page 93 is the answer booklet which they have enclosed to this web note. Page 93 is the first page of the answer booklet. Page 94 is the instructions to the candidates, 94, which spills over to page 95. Then there is one more tabular column which they have displayed. This they have not even supplied to the court at any point of time. On the other hand, they forwarded the page 98 web note dated 27/9/2024. Page 98 is a web note dated 27/9/2024, which specifies as follows: display of revised sample answer booklet for one paper on general English qualifying test, paper 5 on science and technology and data interpretation, and 3 latest hall ticket instructions for Group 1 services main examination. In partial modification of the instructions issued through web note dated 16/8/2024, the following is informed to all the candidates appearing for Group 1 main exam. For general English qualifying paper, answer booklet shall not have pre-printed questions and a separate question paper shall be given to the candidates. There are minor changes in the answer booklet for Roman paper 5, science, technology, and data interpretation. 3, there shall not be any change in the pattern of examination. 5, there are minor changes in the instructions to be printed on the hall ticket for Group 1 mains. Hence, the candidates are informed to download the revised latest sample answer paper booklet for paper on general English, 2 science and technology and data interpretation, paper 5, and latest hall ticket instructions. So they have been communicating if there is any change or modification which they undertake during the process. Then the answer booklet is at page 104. page 104, Miller. Because the entire contention of the Public Service Commission is on the basis of page 104 and 106. There is a tabular. First, it contains part 1, 2, 3. 1 is the details of the candidates. 2 is the marks to be awarded by the examiners. And marks are to be darkened with the wherever the marks are given. This is PO and PO. 3 is also one and the same. There is no change between the part 2 and part 3. Now coming to the page 106, Miller. 106. Nomenclature is same as that of part 2 and 3 of the page 104, that is PO, which is written in the bold letters. There is a change in the tabular column. There is no darkening of the marks so that OMR sheet will capture the marks awarded by the valuers, examiners.
Yes.
The examinations were held from 21st October 24 to 27th October 2024, Millard. 21st October 2024 to 27th October 2024. Thereafter, a web note was published, was uploaded on 5/3/2025 at page 109. After the examinations are over, in March, 5th March 2025, the Commission has taken a serious note of certain false, misleading news that is being spread and published in some social media platforms with regard to Group 1 services recruitment. Information is totally false, misleading, and unfounded. Commission has filed a police complaint against the social media platform and also decided to file a criminal defamation suit for spreading such misleading information and trying to tarnish the image of this constitutional body and create unrest among the Group 1 aspirants. Group 1 aspirants are hereby advised not to believe such false propaganda, as it is always the endeavor of the Commission to conduct the recruitment in a fair and transparent manner. Next minute, this would be important. The candidate can be rest assured that no injustice will be done to any candidate, and the results are being processed in a fair and transparent manner as per merit. Group 1 selection process is being expedited and Commission aims at zero error result. Then last 3 sentences would be crucial. Commission is contemplating to release paper-wise marks in the candidate login and also to publish provisional marks on Commission's website shortly. So they have communicated on 5/3/2025. They will be processing the Group 1 selection process and contemplating to release paper-wise marks in the candidate login and also publish provisional marks list on Commission's website very shortly. So they have communicated to the parties that they will be releasing the paper-wise marks in the candidate login, and also publish the provisional mark list on the Commission's website.
Yes.
Then suddenly the change occurs at page 110. On 10th March 2025, one more web note. Here they give some description. It is informed that Commission has conducted Group 1 services main examinations from 21/10/2024 to 27/10/2024 in HMDA jurisdiction. Valuation process of all the 7 papers is completed. Paper-wise marks secured by the candidates who have attended 7 papers of main examination have been placed in the respective candidates login from 10/3/2025 to 16/3/2025 up to 5 p.m. for a period of 1 week. Candidates can view their paper-wise marks by entering their TGPSC ID, mains hall ticket number, date of birth, so-and-so, on their registered mobile number online on the Commission's website. The candidates are advised to download the main memorandum of mark sheet and preserve it till the completion of recruitment. Then paragraph 2, they refer to the recounting. Then next paragraph, as per paragraph 15.5 notification, rejected, invalid, disqualified, ineligible candidates will not be issued any memorandum of marks, and fees paid by such candidates, if any, will be forfeited to government account without entertaining any correspondence in this regard. Request for revaluation will not be entertained under any circumstances as per Rule 3(9)D of the Commission Rules of Procedure. After conclusion of the recounting process, Commission will be hosting total marks of all candidates in the Commission's website. Candidates are advised to keep all the required originals so-and-so. Next paragraph. Once the period of recounting requests is over, after resolving such requests, final GRL would be published. Based on GRL, the required number of candidates would be picked up for certificate verification. Such candidates would be informed individually and also through TGPSC website. Here, when they display, they do not display the marks list in their website of all the candidates. They only upload into the individual logins of their marks. Reason is not given why they have taken a change from 5th March to 10th March. Then one more issue which may come up for consideration by reading this at page 110. The examination evaluation was concluded long back in January 2025. They have not disclosed how the evaluation has been undertaken by these web notes. There is no whisper about how the evaluation is done, whether it is done strictly in accordance with the notification issued for recruitment or not. Then one more change now happens at page 111. That is on the 13th March 2025, 3 days thereafter. This now you let me see how this press note has been issued. Paragraph 3 would be relevant. In order to clear any doubts and to inform the candidates and general public at large, the following information is available for greater clarity and confidence. Commission conducted the Group 1 mains examination from so-and-so. Valuation of answer scripts commenced on 1/11/2024 and completed on 31/1/2025. Following is the procedure was followed for valuation of answer paper booklets of Group 1 services main exam. Where one minute main answer script contains part 3 pre-printed candidate details. 2 and 3 part contains the part where marks are awarded by the examiner. Before the evaluation process started, OMR barcode sheet which contained candidate's details part is detached and cannot be seen by the examiner or any other person at any point of time. Then 3, the double valuation of all answer scripts is mandatory. This clause has been introduced for the first time on 13.3. There is no whisper in the notification that double evaluation of all answer scripts is mandatory as per the rules of the commission.
Yes.
There is no communication in the notices which they have given on 16/8/2024 or 27/9/2024 that the double valuation will be undertaken. Rule 3 of the rules of procedure do not contemplate for a double valuation. Now, double valuation is nothing but a revaluation.
Ask them. Yes. We'll continue after recess.
Oh, yes.
Millard, kindly mention, permit me, Millard, at very urgency, the election is process going. Item number 67, Millard, may be taken up 215, Millard. Only IA filed, Millard, not